Hello students, welcome to the company law and administration class. So in the previous video, we have covered about the company secretary and their duties and responsibilities towards the company along with their appointment and disqualifications. Then coming to the next key personnel here is audit committee, auditors and CSR, that is corporate social responsibility. So now let us look into the meaning of audit. Okay, so what is audit here? Audit basically means verification of books of accounts. Here, as we know that every company must prepare or must keep the books of accounts. That is, at the end of the financial year, it has to prepare a account and that should be verified here. So the verification of that account is called here as an audit. So here process of auditing involves the verification or checking of the accounting transaction whatever is being mentioned in the books of account. So here that is they verify whether the stated entry in the book is true by cross verifying it with the various document, various vouchers. So this is a process wherein the auditing or whereas the audit verification of the accounts takes place. So here now every company has to got has sorry every company has to get its account audited by its statutory auditors, irrespective of their size of the company and the turnover of the company. So here the statutory auditor will be verifying the accounts of the company. Then coming to the auditors of the company. So here the person who has qualified as a chartered accountant is appointed here as an auditor of the company. So here the auditor of the company is carried out by the statutory auditor appointed by the company in its annual general meeting, and he is the one who holds the certificates of chartered accountant and has got the certificate for the practice. So here even the company appoint a firm as an auditor if the majority of the partner practicing in India are eligible for the appointment. So here the person who has completed the chartered accountant and is certified for the practice will only be verifying the accounts as a chartered accountant. Then how the first auditor of the company is appointed here? The first auditor of the company is appointed within the 30 days of its incorporation. If the board fails to appoint one, then the member have to appoint the first auditor in its extraordinary meeting before the 120 days of the incorporation. Then here appointment of auditor in annual general meeting shall be appointed. Those auditor will hold the office for 5 consecutive years unless the removed or auditor resign himself. So till he resigns by himself or unless he is been removed, that person will be continued as a chartered accountant for the 5 years. Next, let us look into what powers do they have. That is, what are the powers the auditor will get. The auditor have the right to assess the books of accounts. Yes, so he is a one who has to verify the account. So he has right to go through or deeply study all the books of accounts or relating to the financial statements, and he has right to receive all the informations. So here the company shouldn't disclose any of the informations, the company shouldn't hide any kind of the informations. At any time the auditor may ask any queries or any information or any explanation for that particular financial year transaction, then the company has to give the information. So here he has a right to obtain the information and right to receive the notices, notices such as a notice of general meeting, annual general meeting, that is any kind of the changes that have taken place in regard to the financial matters, or any meeting is held that should be conveyed to him. That is, he has a right to receive the notice about that. He has right to even visit the branches, right? So here the company might have the branches, so he can visit the branches for the cross verification of the accounts here. So here like he has also to audit the accounts of such offices, provided that there is no other qualified auditors in that company. So he has right to access all the books of that company and voucher of the company, of the head office and as well as a branch office. Then he has right to correct the wrong statement. So if there is any mistake from the internal auditing committee, so your internal auditing committee means what? The committee which is inside the company, who are not qualified as a chartered accountant, but they will be preparing the account, that is financial statement. In such case, if they commit any mistake, then the auditor has every right to correct the wrong statement. Then he has only the sole authority to sign the audit report. So when the auditor signs the report that it is verified, that it means it is true and at the best. So here auditor's signature is very important. He has a right to sign the financial statement of the company when it is verified that when it is being clarified that the company accounts are clear and there are no any mistakes in the accounts, or there is no any fraud it is involved. So he has when there is a signature of the auditor, that means the accounts are clear here. Then right to seek a legal and technical advice. So the company auditor has a full right to take the opinion of the experts and to take their legal and technical advice, so to discharge his duty efficiently. So he doesn't hesitate to take any advice. He can obtain any type of the help he need for the preparation of the accounts. Then he is even eligible to receive the remuneration. So here Companies Act make it compulsory that he should be provided with the remuneration. Then coming to the duties and liabilities of the auditor, so here his duty is to report the shareholders about the true and fair statement of the company. That is, he has to report the true financial statements of the company. Then state the balance sheet and profit and loss, give to all the information whenever required by the law, and state the balance sheet and profit and loss with the agree books of accounts. Then to obtain the necessary information, then to state whether the company has maintained all the books which are required by the law, then to state the reason for the qualification in his report. Then auditor shall state in report like whether the loan taken are properly secured or no. Then whatever are the whatever the matter regarding the loans or relating to the creditors are should be clearly specified. Then he has a duty of, that is, transaction recorded in the entry is not against the interest of the company, that he should verify. Then then the personal expenses of the director have not to be discharged in the revenue of the company. Then he should fulfill he should fulfill the requirement which are specified by the law here. So his duty is to look out the overall that is, his duty is to look out the overall financial transactions of the company and should be sure that it is fair and it is not against the company interest. Then these were the duties towards the shareholders. Then the duties towards the company is to prospectus, that is, the auditor is required to certify the prospectus. That is, he should go through the prospectus and state that it is true to the best of his knowledge. And his duty is to prepare the statutory report. And here the auditor next, in case of public deposits, the auditor is required to report about the whether company has followed all the rules and guidelines of the RBI in case of the public deposit. Then the signature of the auditor, then it is duty of every auditor to sign the report. So when it is signed, then only it is considered as a valid one. Then insolvency, if the company wants itself to be declared insolvent, that is, it can't be further continued because it has become completely insolvent, then the auditor have to prepare here the statement of profit and loss for the current year, that is showing the loss of the company. He should prepare a document. Then after that, coming to the committee, that is audit committee. So here audit committee is a committee of the board director consisting of minimum 3 directors with a majority of the independent director. That is, minimum 2 will be the independent director, which include the chairperson, shall be eligible to read and understand the financial statement for appointment of auditor and to examine the financial statements. Okay, so the audit committee should have the directors which and the chairpersons, which include the independent director. So these person must be able to understand the financial reports which are prepared by the company, and he must be in a state to select a good auditor for a company. So the features of auditing company here. Auditing company is compulsory for every company which is listed as a public company, and here the audit company must consist of minimum 3 director with the independent director, which will be a majority from the board of directors. Then the member of audit company will be electing the chairman, one amongst themselves, that any one person will be the chairperson here. Then here the work of the chairman is to of the audit committee will be he will be taking the annual general meeting of the company to provide the clarification on any matter. Then here chairman and member of company shall be the person with ability to read and understand the financial statement. This is most important here. Being only the chairman or being only the committee member is not enough here. They should even have the proper knowledge to understand, read and understand or analyze the financial statements of the company. So these were the features of audit committee. Then coming to the scope and the functions of the committee. Then here to discussion with the auditor about the periodically about the internal control system and scope of auditor, which include the observation of the auditor, that is to look after the overall control of the overall control. Then to review the half yearly, that is half year financial statements are reviewed here, and ensure the compliance of internal control system to check that whether the accounts are properly being maintained. Then to investigate in case of then to investigate into the matter of referred by the board. Okay, so they have to come here, the committee member have the full access to the record, and so here they should seek the every information which they need here. And then here every company shall establish a legal mechanism for the director and the employee to report the genuine concern in such matter may be prescribed. That is, there will be a prescribed manner in which they have to submit their audit report. Then here audit committee will take a approval of the transaction which are proposed to be entered in the company subject to the condition whichever they have prescribed. Then here the audit company, if it doesn't approve the transaction, then that is if it is not like if the committee doesn't want to approve the certain transaction, then they have to communicate it to the board member here. That is in case of the any issues regarding the company, then they can report it to the company, that is a board. Then here if the transaction is involving more than 1 crore rupees or less is entered in director or officer of the company without obtaining the approval of the audit committee, and if it is not rectified by the audit committee within 3 months from the date of transaction, then such transaction will be voidable at the option of the committee. Okay, so that is like the company here the board can take the action against that here. Then here the audit committee may call for the comment of auditors about the internal control system. Then the scope of audit, including the observations of the auditors and review about the financial statements here. Then next, coming to the auditor of the company and the key managerial person have the right to attend the meeting. Then here the board, if the board has not accepted any recommendation of the audit committee, then the same shall be disclosed in the report along with the reason therefore. That is, if they have not considered about any point, then that can be mentioned in the meeting saying that this specific point has not been approved. Then coming after completion of this auditing, audit committee and auditor, the next concept here is corporate social responsibility, right? So let us see what is this corporate social responsibility. So here CSR activity is one. business, like we know that business is meant to earn the profit, but here every business now, apart from making the profit, they are concentrating on the development or to contribute towards the betterment of even the society. So here thinking apart from making the profit, here to think about the benefit of the society, or to bring the society in a good environment, or to give a social service, being a corporate, is what we call it as a corporate social responsibility. So here every company is adopting the social responsibility. Now suppose, like let us take example Wipro, Wipro. So here the Wipro work is which is involved in a software company, so its duty is to relate or work anything which is related to the software here, right? But instead of that, they are constructing the parks here, then they are providing with the water facilities to the some of the areas here, and they are contributing, or they are showing their interest in the education sector, that is they are giving some of the donations, right? Why these people are, why these are involved in these matter when their work is completely of a different nature, right? So here the law has made compulsory that now every company should adopt the CSR policy, that is along with your regular business you should do something for the betterment of the society. So here the applicability of CSR policy will be like for the every company whose net worth is more than 500 crores, or the turnover is 1000, more than 1000 crores, or the net profit is more than 500 crores. So in during in financial year shall constitute CSR committee of the board, that is every company now should have the CSR committee. So the company which falls under these three criteria must go for the CSR committee. Then next here is a composition of CSR committee, that is how the CSR committee is composed. So committee of the board consists of 3 or more director, out of which at least one director should be independent. If the company is not required to appoint independent director, then under subsection 4 of section 149, it shall have the social responsibility committee, 2 or more directors. So here among those directors, 2 or more director will be acting for the committee of the CSR. Then coming to the functions of CSR, the functions of CSR says that to formulate and recommend the board a corporate responsibility policy which shall indicate the activity to be undertaken by the company in the area subject or the specified in the schedule 7th. So here every company should have should make a board of their members, and they should take the initiative to do the activities apart from their regular activity for the sake of CSR. Then to recommend whatever are the expenditure which will be involved in that. Then uh, after that, then the board of the every company referred in subsection that after taking into the account the recommendation made by the social response, that is corporate social responsibility committee, approve of CSR policy for the company and disclose whatever are the contents in the website. So that is they should mention that what activities the company is taking for the society, and to ensure that activities are included in CSR policy of the company are undertaken by the company. That is, they should not only showing it in the paper, but they also should ensure that whatever they have stated are followed here. Then coming to the CSR policy, what is the CSR policy? So it is related to the activities that are to be undertaken by the company as specified under the schedule 7th to act, and the expenditure they are including activities undertaken in the pursuance of the normal course of business company. What does it mean here is every company should out of its total profit whatever has earned should do the expenditure on the society, that is out of the certain profit whatever they have earned, certain percentage must be dedicated or must be taken out for the social responsibility, that is social responsibility activity, that is CSR. Then expenditure on the CSR, how much the company should bear the expenses. then they should ensure that the company spends in every financial year at least 2% of their net profit of the company. Okay, so in the previous year or the immediately preceding year, the company how much ever profit it earns, out of that at least 2% they have to contribute towards the CSR. So if the company has not completed the period of 3 financial years since its incorporation, that is it has not been making profits, or if the business has not yet started after its incorporation, then immediately next year, coming year, preceding year, it has to take up with the responsibility of the CSR. Then coming to the role of board of director here, this is the last part of this topic. So here the section 135 of subsection 4 provides that the board shall, after taking into the account the recommendation made by the CSR committee, they should approve the CSR policy of the company and disclose the matters such as the director's reports, and also place it on the company's website. And here they should ensure that the activities as are included in CSR policy the company has undertaken by the company, and to ensure that they are spending 2% on such activities, and to report those activities to the board, and to disclose the information as per the CSR rule 2014, in which the format is provided, wherein they should fill all those detail, and they need to submit it on the company's website. So this was about the company's that is CSR, corporate social responsibility, and audit committee. So here we end with our second unit, that is key personnel management. The notes will be uploaded soon on the website.